Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy here for Whimsy Stamps. Thanks for joining me. Now, this is the third time I'm doing this video. So it's going to be short and sweet this time. I've made these 3 sweet as can be fall hedgy ATCs, and I'll be making the 4th one with you on camera. So we have the fall Hedgies or Hedgehogs stamp set. We also have the antique ATC frames dies, as well as the Sprinkles Scallop Rectangle die set and the Retro Vibes paper pad. Now, doing a quick little flip through, I've already, like I said, created those first 3 Hedgies. So the papers that I've used are set off to the side, or the pattern papers that I've used are set off to the side. And I chose one more really cutie. I love these. And I'm not a 60s, 70s, even an 80s kind of girl. But I love these pattern papers. I think they're super fun. And the colors are perfect for fall. So I just had to put them together. So this one is very, almost like a 50s to me. It has kind of that Spudnik vibe to it. But anyway, I'm cutting it out by hand just to get the piece that I need that'll go through my little tabletop die cutting machine. And I did not have enough cardstock, colored cardstock, to make any of these ATCs. So what I've done is adhered a bunch of them together that match the pattern paper that I'm using. But I did clean up the back. You saw that the back was white, so I die cut 4 or 5, actually I may have done 5 of the whole ATC size background, and that was with the Sprinkles Scallop Rectangle die, and I mount those to the back of each one. But I digress. First of all, I'm using one of the antique ATC frames. This is the second from the largest of this particular shape. Now there are 2 shapes in here, and obviously I'm only using the one just for continuity's sake. And this is the ATC size of the Sprinkles Scallop Rectangle die. I never get that name right. I never get it right. But this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite rectangle dies. And I love that Whimsy makes their smaller ones to be ATC size. Now that's not the case for all, but for many of the rectangle die sets, the smallest one is ATC size. And I love that. By the way, ATC size is 3.5 by 2.5. That's the only thing that's constant on an ATC. Otherwise, sky's the limit. You do what you want. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So you can see that I'm about to clean up that back side. I've got just the solid white, and then I'm lining it up to make sure that the scallops line up, because it is pretty much a mirror image front to back. And that made my heart happy. I just had to make sure that I got it lined up. So once I get it all lined up, it's pretty much just a matter of constructing the card itself, the little ATC card. So I have to figure out the orientation of this shape, and I decided that I wanted the kind of mustardy colored design, the pattern, to go over the brown of the background, and the brown on the pattern to go over the mustardy side, or at least close to it. And then of course there's gray throughout. Now on all the other cards, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there are other elements just to kind of enhance it or give it some more interest. So I just pulled a bunch of different things from my stash that were already cut. There were circles, there are squares, there's this shape actually is from the ATC frames die set, and the stitch circle, and then these squares. And I end up going with these squares because they're the only ones that really make sense. And I'm about to show you why I feel like it makes sense, because it worked on that one. I had the little brown squares there as well, and I feel like it worked there. I do kind of wish that these were a cream color instead of white, but it works. It's okay. And really, in the end, it's just a landing place. It's a place for interest, a place for that, for your eye to rest from the pattern paper, and then, like I said, a landing place for the little Hedgie. Now, when I colored these Hedgies up, I was just playing. I really didn't have a project in mind. They just, fall colors are fall colors. And they just happened to work, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I adhere those little squares down. I guess they're more of a rectangle than a square. But I use my Barely Arts glue, and then I pop this little guy up on some double-sided foam tape. And on that little plate, I also have a bunch of little shroomies and 2 different shapes of fall leaves that I've also stamped, colored, and fussy cut. Now I did use my Olos to color all of these, and again I did them off screen. It was just I don't know what day it was. It was one day at the end of last week. I just stamped them all out and colored and just had a good time just coloring for no purpose. And I absolutely enjoyed myself, every second of it. So you can see it's coming together. I'm going to add one more. I felt like it needed some green because there's no green going on. There's no green in the pattern paper either. I just really wanted it. I just wanted it. So I pulled out this green leaf, and of course, you know, again, fall colors are fall colors, and they all coordinate, and I feel like that just finished it off, and I think as cute as it can be. And here it is, the finished card. I think it's super cute, and it goes perfectly well with the others. You can see that one has the 2 little squares on the back as well, and it just, again, he's lifted up with some foam tape, and they just coordinate really well. And then here are the other 2, the one sitting on the punky, and the one, well, he's in the punky, the other is sitting on the apple, and I think they're adorable. And I love how those pattern papers just coordinate perfectly, just perfectly. And you can see the different elements. I've got the little square frame behind the apple guy, and then the pumpkin guy has a little bit of a half circle. And those are my ATCs, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being patient with me. This one, I don't know why it was so hard to come together. I kept losing footage and my camera was turning off. And anyway, we persevered. We succeeded. Thanks again, guys. Join us over on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all the places. We'd love to meet with you, talk to you downstairs. And if you want to do any shopping, if you're interested in anything that you saw, go ahead and use those links downstairs. And until next time, mwah, I'm out.